616-301-9516. Are you kidding me? I've been getting notifications from Tag saying, all right, Eric, don't forget, gather up your stuff. Your appointment is coming up early March. You can still take advantage of this great service. If you're doing your taxes on your own, more than likely you're going to screw something up. You're going to forget something. Take it the route of Tag Accounting at tagcpa.net. You can reach out, again, 616-301-9516, or drop Troy an email if you want, Troy at tagcpa.com. From anywhere in the good old US of A, you can take advantage of Tag Accounting. I've had many of the listeners of this show do this, and they are all immensely satisfied. It has worked out really, really well. So I'm just so pleased to have Tag Accounting on board. Stay away from the big, giant companies. You'll be treated like just another number. I feel like a number. I'm not a number. Hang on. Oh, man. TagCPA.net. Okay, Kent County Health Department, you're awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah, I know, real shit show. COVID, it seems like the longest year ever. But you're hanging in there. AccessKent.com/health. You go to that spot on their website, AccessKent.com/health. One more time. AccessKent.com/health. And everything you need to know about testing, about vaccinations, whatever it is, it's all there. They've got a frequently asked questions page. Anything COVID related, you can take care of it right there. Not to mention, some folks might need other vaccinations too for the kids. And then, yes, indeed, the WIC program also there for you if you are on the struggle bus and you need some help getting food on the table. The Kent County Health Department, thank you so much for being part of this show. Okay, it is February 1, 2021. Coming to you from the Baldwin Ace Hardware Fear Bunker Studio. Baldwin Ace Hardware, a bastion of DIY awesomeness in the Northland. Check them out. The Eric Zane Show podcast begins right now.
Hey, what's happening?
Hello, Sean Gotti here, coming to you from Raleigh, North Carolina. And there's not a single radio show around here that's worth a damn. So I'm listening to the Eric Zane Show podcast, coming to you live Monday through Friday. So sit back, get your trays in the upright position, feet and elbows out of the aisle, because here he comes, Eric Zane.
Thank you very much, Sean. I appreciate you. And look at this on the live stream. We got Tyler's in the house. Jose, who says buenos dias. And then Jose says no to vaccines. Jose, what are you doing? Speaking of no to vaccines, Dirk is probably offended by that. He loves vaccines. Welcome to you all. Adam in Houghton Lake says, hey, Zaniacs, fuck off. What the hell? Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Looks like they're all saying that. Melinda says the same thing. Dean drops that horrible obscenity. Andrea does that. I think they all planned this. That's what they did. They absolutely did that. Or, I don't know. Well, okay, that's fun. It's a nice way to start the month of February. Welcome into the show. Thank you so much for being here and being part of it. Okay. All right. The show, you can get it live each and every morning on Facebook.com/Eric Zane fan page. Brought to you by Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid. O'Neill, who's cashed out. So is Bruce. O'Neill is brought to you by Irvine's. Bruce is brought to you by Grand Rapids Hybrid. There was a time when I had sweaters in the works for them, but I seem to have failed miserably at that. But anyway, Rob says, hey, Zane, it's fuck off February. Don't you know that? I don't think that's a thing. I think you just made that up on the spot there. Excuse me. Holy crap. Twitter. Oh, by the way, on Facebook, share that thing. Share it right now, okay? Tom in Nashville, you look new. What's up, buddy? How are you? Share that shit, man. That's all I got is you telling people about it. If you share this thing right now, oh my God, you're going to make my day on Facebook. On Twitter, retweet that shit with a snarky comment. Like, listen to this garbage. Check out this dumpster fire on your retweet. Quote your own retweet. Quote your own retweet. Twitter Periscope video brought to you by my friends at Blue Frost IT. All right. So there you go with that. And then on YouTube, find me, Eric Zane Show on YouTube. If you could, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification, and the thumbs up button. That is the like button on YouTube. That's brought to you by F45 in Byron Center, Michigan. Okay. Don't be a stranger. Email the show whenever you want. I do it old school when it comes to communication. Email the show in the Shoreliner Striping inbox. I don't know what the hell the problem is with my throat today. Hang on. Damn it. I'm getting old. We'll have an email of the day a little later on, brought to you by Forever Lawn West Michigan. Let's see. What else do I have in terms of sponsorship? Instagram, Mario Flores Lakeshore Team of Van Dyke Mortgage. That might be it. Anyway, the show, you can also get it wherever you download podcasts, the audio podcast. So everything that I do on this live stream each and every day, I basically go ahead and just take the audio and post it, and then it shows up on all of the podcasting platforms. So you can listen to it on demand whenever you like for free at on whatever podcasting platform you want, or you can get it at ericzaneshow.com. Just click where it says free podcast, and off you go. Wow. This show almost started with a real issue, and it's something that crops up from time to time. This is going to sound insane, and I've talked about it before, but I start every show, and I have to, this is going to sound ridiculous. I have to make sure that my jaw is not out of place. What? How could that possibly be? No, it's true. Since I was a very, very young man, like 20 years old, my jaw has slipped out of joint. I know it's incredibly painful, and it sounds painful, and it is incredibly painful. If I'm not careful, it doesn't line up right, and all you need to know is that it hurts, and it won't open up all the way. And this has been an issue I've talked about for years, and it's never really a problem because I've managed to adapt. But there are moments like today when I'm sitting here getting ready to do the show, and the last thing I have to do is make sure that my mouth is working. Can you imagine doing what I've been doing for the past, 30, 40 years? And you have to make sure that your jaw is working. What? Yes, it's true. So I did what I do, and it looks bizarre. If you ever see me, like if it was acting up right now, if I hadn't fixed it before the show started, I would be in agony, screwing with it, trying to manipulate it, moving my lower jaw, trying to get it to get into place. You can't see anything. It doesn't look weird, but it feels so bizarre, and it hurts. Okay. So I'm sitting here and I'm like, fuck. And all I want to do is go live. It's already like 8:02, then 8:03, and then 8:04. And I'm sitting here, I'm massaging my face, trying to get it into place. And then, hold on. Okay. Yeah, you just saw it. Okay. It is good. But for a second there, when I just touched my face, I thought that I put it back out of place. It's pretty precarious, so as you can tell. And I was just having a horrible time. And then finally, I was like, well, I guess I got to do the show with my jaw out of place. And I was all set, ready to go. And then I gave it one more go. And then it freed. And the relief, oh, my gosh. You would not believe the relief. I'm like, thank God I can open my mouth. I know by now, if I were to look at the live feed, there would be all sorts of horrible jokes about this exact thing. Something about my mouth and being able to open my mouth for man meat or something horrible like that. But that actually happened this morning. Also dealing with, I'm assuming this is carpal tunnel, and I've bitched about this before. And Kenny sent me this nice thing that I use. It's like a support. It's such an old man thing I put in front of the keyboard from when I'm typing. And that works to some degree, but I'm having all this trouble, son of a bitch, and it hurts like hell. And the crazy thing about it is, as the weekend starts, I'm not sitting here anymore, and so you think it would go away, but it doesn't. And man, it is such a drag. So I load up with Tylenol over the weekend, and then the pain kind of goes away. The second I sit down here and start preparing to do this damn show, shit, here it comes again. And it's a dull ache. It's not the end of the world, but man, I would really like it to not be hurting right now. Anybody have any suggestions on any of these stupid maladies that I can fix? I would love to hear hear from you on the Shoreliner Striping inbox. My God, Eric at ericzaneshow.com. But, all right. What the hell was I going to talk about? Oh, I don't know who did it. One of you sent me a new mask in the mail, and I'm not sure. I couldn't even begin to speculate who was responsible for it. I'm looking your way, Pellerito. I guess I will speculate. Pellerito, possibly Kenny. It was a new mask to wear, and I posted it on Facebook and Twitter. And I wrote, one of you sick bastards sent me a new mask. And it's me standing there with the mask, and it's of that big, gigantic black man who is a porn star, and that he's sitting in that really casual pose, just sitting there smiling at the camera with this enormous tree trunk of a dong just kind of hanging down crazy like that. That guy we've all seen, that meme. And so I've got a mask now with that, and I Diana goes, "What the hell is this?" I go, "I don't know. But we got to take a picture of it because somebody took the time to send me that, and it's funny." So whoever did that, congrats to you. That was very, very funny. I wonder if that's the first mask. That's one where you have to kind of like, I don't think it's like available to everybody. I think you got to order it custom, one of those custom mask makers. Fantastic. I wanted to bring it in here to show you on this. I'll bring it in tomorrow or something if I don't forget. So, all right. A lot going on in the show today. A lot to get to, my God. I need to discuss with you. There will be spoilers ahead on the ending of The Night Stalker on Netflix. And if you didn't watch it, it's okay, because the story I'm going to tell you, it's just something that has to be discussed. So if you're just watching that and you're not to the end of it, you're going to have to check out for that, about how this actually happened. Serial killer Richard Ramirez. This is his entire story from his reign of terror in the summer of 1985. You know what's crazy about the summer of 1985 in Southern California? I was in Southern California in the summer of 1985. That was the trip that my dad, Joanne, and my stepsisters and I went there to visit relatives. And I was actually there when it was going on. I remember it. That was the trip where on the flight to California, I sat right next to pro wrestling legend, the Iron Sheik. I was sitting there on the flight, and I look, and there's this really ripped guy with a crazy mustache, and it dawns on me. I go, holy shit, this is the Iron Sheik. This is right at the beginning of like the Hulk Hogan era. I'm sitting next to the fucking Iron Sheik on an airplane. It was incredible. Nicest guy in the world. You follow him on Twitter. He tells everybody to go fuck themselves now, but super, super nice guy. So anyway, I completely digressed. The Night Stalker, Richard Ramirez's reign of terror, he killed everybody, man. And that it had the entire Southern California area and even San Francisco, because he would travel up the coast and kill people up there and then come back down and kill more people in Southern California and the Los Angeles area. The ending of this, though, was incredible. I'm going to spoil it. So if you're planning on watching it, well, then I guess you'll have to check out. But anyway, it's amazing how it all went down. I also watched something that I need to discuss with you, and I've had a fair amount of time to process it and figure out even if I wanted to discuss it. And I do. I watched Derek Delgadio's In and of Itself on Hulu. Thank you very much, Kenny, for letting me borrow your password to watch it. I'm going to review that. full spoilers ahead, okay? I will warn you, okay? That is coming up. The Mats, and you know what's interesting about that is he's a magician, and I'm wondering how show magician, the mental health magician John Midgley feels about Derek Delgadio. I'm curious. I should get him on. I should try to reach out to him. The Matt Stafford trade was huge, blockbuster, gigantic trade in the NFL. I'll get to that, involving your Detroit Lions. The rich and famous are jumping the line for COVID vaccinations, and wait till you hear who's doing this. Oh, my God. We're going to hear from some of the people cashing in on GameStop. I've got a story about a peeping Tom discovered in a lady's locker room in probably the most hilarious way ever. All right. But this weekend, excuse me, I don't know what my deal is. Hang on. Maybe if I drink some water. All sorts of physical issues today. Hang on. The hell is wrong with me? I otherwise feel good, with the exception of the pain in my hand, the scratchy throat, clearly I'm going to die, and the dislocated jaw. Other than that, I feel great. I really do. All right. I went out to pick up some takeout food, something we don't do that often. But Diana said it's time for sushi, and headed to my favorite sushi restaurant. It's actually one of those hibachi type restaurants where they cook all this shit in front of you. But I never do that. I just go to the sushi bar all the time. And so they got the sushi chefs. You order it online. You go in there, you pay, you take it out, and you're done. By the way, in Michigan today, they open up 25% capacity. So they're slowly but surely, after 70-some days of no dine-in service, they're getting back to it to some degree today. Today is the day for that. So I go into the restaurant, buy the food. Can't wait to get home. Pig out on the sushi. It's a race to get home because I want the tempura California roll to still be warm. As I walk into there, there's a couple other people there that are waiting for food. We're all being socially distant. One guy's got a mask with the DoorDash logo. I go, oh, he's picking up food. All right, I know what he's doing. I'm the lay of the land DoorDash guy. Got some other customers that are paying. Sushi chefs doing their thing. People cashing people out. All right, great. No big deal. Awesome. Get the food, walk out. DoorDash guy is gone. So it's just me walking out. And DoorDash guy is in the process of smashing into Diana's car. Crunch! It sounded like a bunch of metal. It crunch! And he hit it, man. Whammo! And I go, oh, no. And right away, he pops out of the car, and I go, oh, my God. And I actually laughed. I go, oh no, you're going to be late. and this dude goes, oh, no. The first thing out of his mouth is he hasn't even gotten up to his car yet. He hasn't even got up to where he smashed into Diana's Dodge. And he goes, oh, I did more. I think I did more damage to mine than yours. And I'm like, well, you're not even you haven't even approached the spot. So I'm like, oh, okay, well, we'll see. So yeah, now he's, I go walking up, and he couldn't have been more wrong. There is a hell of a lot more damage done to Diana's car than he's driving one of these cars that, he puts like the loud ass exhaust pipe on it to make it sound like it's, whatever I've never understood that. It doesn't even sound good. It sounds like shit. Yeah. Why do people do that? People who put like dual exhaust on a hot rod with and it actually sounds throaty, but these stupid things, it just sounds ridiculous. So this DoorDash dude is, now his night is ruined. Any money that he's going to make on DoorDash is going to go out the window because he's going to have to pay for this damage. So right away I go, all right, man. I didn't lose any patience with the guy. He felt terrible. And I go, hey, buddy, don't worry about it. We'll get it figured out. This This is not a huge deal. It might be for you because it might cost you some money. And I always forget in Michigan how it works because Michigan is a no-fault state. So my insurance will repair this, but I don't know if the deductible is waived or if he pays the deductible or if something else happens. I've been through this 1 million times and I can never recall how it actually works. So I go, dude, I don't even know. I go, just give me your information. So we traded. I got his information and I said, all right. And then I made this mistake because he felt so bad. I wanted to let him know this is it is a don't you know who I am, but it was done in an effort to make him not feel so bad because I wanted to let him know, hey, dude, you just smashed into Eric Zane's car. But every time I do this, it never works out because the people never know who the fuck I am. And it was even more pronounced because I said to him, I go, have you ever listened to Free Beer and Hot Wings? Because that's, what I was known for originally. I go, and he goes, and that was what I was going to say. And then I said, yeah, I'm Eric Zane. You just hit my car. That's funny. I'll talk about it on the podcast. That's what I want to say. But that got fucked because I said, you ever listen to Free Beer and Hot Wings? And I said, have you ever heard of Free Beer and Hot Wings? He goes, no. And I go, shit. I go, well, all right, never mind. I used to work for them, but now oh God, why am I even talking? What is wrong with me? Why did I never learn. I never ever learn when I do that. Don't you know who I am? What an asshole. So then I felt like a dick. I sent him on his way. Take the cold food home. All right. So now Diana, her car is all screwed up. The back left is completely smashed. This is going to be a pretty pricey thing. It's the type of thing where there's a sensor on the back bumper where if you get close to anything, the car starts beeping to warn you that you're about to crash into something. Well, that's damaged. So now every time you put the car in reverse, the car just goes beep. It won't stop until you get it out of reverse. And so I called Diana, and it always sucks when your car gets cracked up. You always feel like shit for the longest time. And so she was pretty bummed out. I was bummed out. No big deal, though. We got the sushi. In fact, that leads me to, I did let the guy off the hook in terms of not yelling at him. I didn't express that I was really, really pissed or anything. I wasn't really pissed because I know it's not the end of the world. That's the medicine talking. It's a good thing that I'm back on the Celexa. Excuse me, because everything is not a big deal now, right? For the most part, it's just a more even keel Eric when he's on his meds. So, but I still have to give him some degree of shit. So, congratulations, DoorDash driver, you have won asshole of the day from the Eric Zane Show podcast. Put that right over here. Congrats to you. All right. While I'm at it, we were talking the next day about this exact thing with Diana in the car and then Madison. We were on the way to the Frenchie meetup, which I'll talk about in a second. Damn it. God, it's really bugging me. And while we're driving there, Madison says, I remember the first time that I ever did that. And I said, oh, hit somebody? She goes, yeah, it was when I was in the parking lot at school. And I go, oh, yeah, I think I remember that. And then, so, that story could just end there. But then she said, yeah, I remember it. This is probably a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. She gets in a wreck like every 6 months. I remember it because I called mom in a panic. And I go, oh, yeah? And Diana's sitting there in the back seat, and Madison says, yeah, I called mom, and I hit another student's car, and there was a little bit of damage to it. And I go, okay. And mom told me, she says, well, just leave and go and pull into a different parking spot, and no one will ever know. And I went, and Diana starts laughing hysterically, and I'm like, wait, she did? Yeah, can you believe that? And I go, well, what did you do? And she goes, I didn't do that. I go, well, thank God I mean, seriously. And Diane and I go, I did not know that this is actually how it went. You actually told your daughter to break the law. That is a hit and run. And I'm like, what? Seriously? Are you? Come on. And I go, Madison, I don't ever want you to call her ever. If anything like this ever happens again, do not call your mother and ask her for advice on these things. I cannot believe that she did that. Holy crap. Bad advice for Madison. I just found out about that one. I was like, man, it's the things I don't know around this household. It was a weekend that we were out and about, and that was where I was going to this socially distanced event at a place called The Pack. They just opened like the first week in January in Comstock Park, Michigan, right near where the West Michigan Whitecaps baseball team play on West River Drive. And Madison, Jacqueline found out about this thing called the Frenchie Meetup. And so she's in a group of people on Facebook that own French Bulldogs. And so she goes, yeah, Dad, they're going to have this big thing at 1 hour before that place opens up, this indoor dog park in Grand Rapids, Comstock Park at 10 a.m. All French Bulldog owners. We got to go. And I go, all right, this is awesome. So cool. So I go, well, what is this place? And she goes, well, I don't know much about it. So I did a little research on this place called The Pack. And so this husband-wife team and the father of the wife of the husband-wife team went in on this place. It's the only one in Michigan, an indoor dog park. And you got to see this place. It's I shot a video of it and put it up on Facebook and for you to check out and on YouTube. And so, yeah, it was, imagine like 36 French Bulldogs running around. Oh, my God. It was absolutely the best. We had a great time. And so, you walk in there and Bruce is like surrounded by dogs that are just like him. So if you like French Bulldogs, this was for you. And so, I mean, they're just running around. Everybody's having a great time, getting to know each other. And then it was just fantastic. A couple dogs had an accident, and then what they do is they take like an orange cone and they put it down on the hard floor, and then you clean up the accident. Dogs were playing so hard that a couple actually barfed. There was so much fun had there that the dog's like, I'm having so much fun. And it made me think about when you get these French Bulldogs together, what the immediate fun that they start having if people did that. So if people got together and just started screaming at each other and chasing each other, running around with balls in our mouths and taking dumps and pees wherever we wanted to, and then jumping on each other, some humping one another. These are all things that happen. I can only what would happen. If this is what would happen if you got Zaniacs together at a place like that and maybe added booze. By the way, the place is cool because they actually have a bar, which makes it that much more fun. Can you imagine you go out on a date and you bring your dog and they've got a full menu. You can eat food. You can eat the food. You can drink the booze. And they just started being able to do that today because today is the first day that you can serve in Michigan. So I'm also courting them, hoping that they can get on the podcast. So with a little luck, I'll be talking about that. So keep your fingers crossed on that. And they've got another one coming up on you got to be part of the French Bulldog organization. What are they called? Frenchies of Grand Rapids, I think, in order to get like the notification that they're doing it again. But that was fun. Really, really great. I love the Frenchies. Okay. All right. That is the open of the Eric Zane Show podcast. I did the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast on Friday. Oh, man. Another great time on the live stream with several audience members participating in the Bet on Ben game to win cash. Nobody's won the cash yet. But the way it is I have Ben in there with me on Zoom, and then you come in, and then I ask Ben a trivia question. You either bet on or against Ben. Let's say you bet on him, and he gets it right. You win $1. Then you try to double it, and you keep trying to double it. You can get up to $50, win that prize. Nobody's won yet. That's on Patreon. Patreon.com/Eric Zane, for people who want to enjoy that. And then I post the audio the very next day on Patreon. I also post the free view if you just want to test it out wherever you download this podcast. I post that too, just like a 10, 15-minute snippet of it. So you can check out the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast. We have a good time. Meanwhile, Joe Martinez is still hard at work. I had a video, not a video, but somebody posted online that they had to call upon Joe Martinez for the after-hours service call, and I've talked about that. You know, if you need him, do not forget A&E Heating and Cooling, 616-516-8579. One of the audience members said, yeah, the thing went out and we had to call upon Joe. So if you're in West Michigan, that's who you call for the after-hours service call. And I'm not going to lie to you. You call anybody on an after-hours service call, it's going to cost you a little bit more. And Joe is doing that too. You are going to get, and this guy wrote, you are going to get bent over the pinata. Joe Martinez is going to bend you over the pinata, but he will get your furnace running again. That's what you want. Okay, 616-516-8579. Ask about the Remy Halo Induct Air Purifier. Yes, Kenny, it scrubs the air. It uses reflective electromagnetic energy technology. Once installed in the supply plenum of your HVAC system's air ducts, the Remy Halo Induct Air Purifier works to produce harmless hydrogen peroxide plasma, okay, which then gets caught in the filter, and then you change the filter like you normally do, and your air is cleaner within your home. This is especially important in the winter months because the home is all shut up, okay? The air is not, you're not getting fresh air in, so you got to use this, man, and it's going to make your home a lot more healthy. 616-516-8579. I still have a little bit of muscle soreness from the appearance at F45 in Byron Center. I posted the video of the workout. It was a lot of fun. Holly Christine got a lot of FaceTime. That was the young lady who was working next to me, intimidating the hell out of me with her ridiculous amount of strength. Oh, boy. Get over to F45 in Byron Center, Michigan, if you want to train. And if you want to train for 1 week free, you go to f45training.com/Byron Center and take advantage of that first week free, man. And on the video, I talk about how I stayed in my own little exercise area. They call it the tile or a tile. And there's a number 9 on my spot. And I look at the number 9 spot on the video board, and there's a graphic of a guy doing the exercises, and that's what I do. There's a timer that tells me how long I work out for, how long I recover for, 10 seconds usually, and then I get back after it. The team goes through, corrects any mistakes that you're making so that you're doing the exercise movements correctly, which I did a lot of them incorrectly, but they corrected me, and off I went. It's a great time. F45training.com/Byron Center. Check those folks out. Hang on, I got to clear my throat again. Damn it, what is wrong with me? It's actually starting to hurt. Oh, my God. Pain in the ass. All right. There's a dog bar in St. Petersburg, Dirk says. It's a bar with a bark park, so you can let your dogs play while you have a beer. That's very similar to what we're talking about there, Dirk. Here at the indoor dog park, known as The Pack. I would love to be able to have them on as a sponsor, to be able to have a Zaniac party with our dogs. That would be just fantastic. Adam says that the puppy at the end of the video at the dog park and from the Frenchie meetup looks like a fat kitten. You're absolutely right. It is an adorable little puppy French bulldog. Really, really cool. Okay. Watch some shows over the weekend. Full spoilers ahead. Okay? So if you're planning on watching The Night Stalker and Derek Delgadio's In and of Itself, I'm going to spoil it for you. By the way, mental health magician John, if you are listening, I want you to reach out to me via email, eric@ericzaneshow.com, because I want to talk to you about Derek Delgadio. Kenny writes, here's a suggestion. Don't keep the wrist guard on the floor. Well, you might think that, it only works. It only is used for when you're typing. I don't know if you knew that, Kenny. It doesn't do anything for when you're seated because it's just to offer support when you're at the keyboard. And when I'm doing the podcast, knucklehead, I'm not at the keyboard. So I know you think you got it all figured out, but I don't need it right now. So I think I need surgery, frankly. Okay, so I finished up watching this show on Netflix called The Night Stalker. This is a pretty quick watch. This is a 4-part documentary on the capture of the Night Stalker serial killer, which I love true crime. And I remember this when this happened. This is the guy who said, and they didn't cover this really too much about how one of the defense things that they tried to do to get this guy off was say that the band AC/DC told him to kill people, which AC/DC is like, what the hell? Because they have an actual song called The Night Prowler. And so the defense attorneys for Richard Ramirez like, AC/DC made him do it, you know? That was at a time when you could blame rock music on terrible things. I think Ozzy Osbourne got accused of making somebody kill themselves, and Judas Priest might have the same thing happen to him. So that was like what people did back then. Stupid. This guy liked AC/DC, wore an AC/DC hat, and awful, terrible. If you watch this, the way they describe what this guy did to people, I mean, he killed indiscriminately. Men, women, old, young, rich, poor, fat, skinny, and he was a pedophile too. Young boys, young girls, and he was really, really bizarre. They had a hard time figuring where this guy was and what was, because a lot of times they would do come up with a criminal profile and of what their MO is. But with him, he was the rarest of the rare because of how he would hurt anybody. Some people might just hurt young women. Some people might hurt young men or whatever, which can help them in establishing a profile. But this guy was, I mean, all over the board. And he would also, when he would sexually assault children, he would release them. He wouldn't hurt them, which is, they could not figure this guy out. And so there was young people like 6, 7, 8 years old who were saying, pointing at him in a lineup saying, that's the guy right there. So, I mean, this was, it had Southern California on lockdown, this whole Night Stalker serial killer. I mean, it was incredible the effect that this guy had on a gigantic swath of a city. I mean, the whole area of Southern California was locked down. They could not figure out where this guy was, and they had like a shoe print, so they had like an idea of who he was. And then he even went up to San Francisco and started killing people. And so over time, though, they started to piece it together. And it's, even though I'm spoiling it, it's still a great watch about how they caught this guy. These two detectives in particular were the ones who were interviewed. So this is basically a lot of interview and a lot of newspaper clippings and a lot of eyewitness reports. So it's that type of documentary. But what was the most compelling thing was how they caught this guy, because when they finally started to get a bead as to who Richard Ramirez was, they discovered who he was, got a name, and they got a mugshot from a previous offense like petty theft or something like that months earlier. And as it turns out, they put it out to the press. Be on the lookout for this guy. Now, there's no internet. Nobody has any idea until they actually say on the TV news, be on the lookout for this guy, and it's in the LA Times. Well, it turns out that Ramirez went to like Las Vegas for a weekend via bus to go visit his brother. And so he then returns home. And now, so while he's in Las Vegas, he has no idea that his face is everywhere. So, and this is a gigantic story, and everybody's paying attention to it. And so he arrives at the bus station to return back. And he is riding back on the bus, and he sees somebody with a newspaper, and the person, Richard Ramirez, sees his face on the newspaper, on this guy's newspaper. And then the guy like looks at Richard Ramirez and then looks at the newspaper, and he pulls the rope to stop the bus. To stop the fucking bus. Richard Ramirez jumps out of the bus, and the people on the bus go, "Holy shit, that's him. That's a Night Stalker." So they somebody jumps out of the bus and stops a guy driving a cement truck and says, "Holy shit, follow that guy." And so they follow him, and Ramirez gets onto another bus, and the cement truck's following the fucking bus, okay? On another bus. And then everywhere he gets out, people are looking at him, and they actually detailed it like everybody, wherever he goes, people are recognizing him. And he's like, "Oh shit, oh fuck." And so he runs across like the freeway, like 20 lanes of freeway traffic. And he's getting fatigued and tired, and he can hear helicopters overhead. The word is getting out quickly. People are calling the cops. So this is over like several minutes. And Ramirez finally goes to one neighborhood, and he's really tired. And then he tries to carjack somebody. And the guy who he's trying to or there was a woman he's trying to carjack. Somebody walks up and starts to defend her. And he runs away, and then someone else has a pipe, and they all know it's him, bashes him over the head. And then as the cops arrive as all these people in this neighborhood they know it's him. They're beating the shit out of him. So they subdue him, hold him down. They know it's him. He's bleeding all over. Oh my God. And the cop has to get the people away from him, like at gunpoint, to keep them from killing him. And they have footage of him in the back of a police car, and he's all bandaged up. He's beat to shit. Holy crap. And that was it. You know, they ended up getting the guy, and then it took years to convict the dude, though. I forget why, but he wasn't convicted until like 1989, and then on death row and died in prison. He died in, and then, oh my God, they covered all of the chicks that would try to, that he married one. And then seriously, he had like women, all these crazy chicks, really good looking women sending him nude pictures. And I'm like, what the fuck? What is wrong with people? By the time of his death, I think it was in like the early 2000s, he was set to be married he was like in his 50s. By the early 2000s, he was engaged to a 23-year-old woman who that is, again, proof of alien life forms living on this planet, that anybody would be attracted to this guy. And they showed in the trial, all these women would be going to the trial in support of him. And he's a big Satan worshiper. It was the whole deal. It was pure evil, this story. My God, The Night Stalker on Netflix. Also, full spoilers ahead for Derek Delgadio's In and of Itself. Boy, had a feeling that I wouldn't like it, and I don't mean any disrespect. I just mean that I just don't think on the same level. I guess I'm just not as smart or emotionally deep. But I heard my old show talking about this and raving about it, and they were making a huge deal about it, and I was like, okay, well, I'm a little bit concerned about that because, again, we just don't think alike on a lot of things. So I was worried about spending the time on it and concerned that I wouldn't like it. And I was absolutely right to do that because I've given it plenty of thought, and this couldn't have been any more pretentious. It is absolute. One person wrote about it and said it is riveting rubbish. Absolutely. This is a magician, Derek Delgadio, who did a show in both Los Angeles and New York for like 500 dates. And it's a guy with mommy and daddy problems and way overly dramatic and pretentious, who does magic tricks sandwiched in between really long, boring anecdotes that now has been made into a movie created by Frank Oz from the fucking Muppet Show with animation, graphics, sleight of hand tricks, and bullshit. Oh, fuck, man. And it's the thing that everybody's watching, and everybody is falling over themselves with this pretentious, self-important, over-the-top, dramatic garbage. Absolute garbage. It is entertaining, but it's just, you can't get caught up in this. If you go into this and buy in totally as to what this guy's doing, you might end up spoon feeding it to yourself. It is, I'm sorry. No, I'm not. It just sucked. It's just stupid. He does some really cool magic tricks. And one of them is this. This is a total spoiler. Everybody who walks into there, they like pick a card. And the card says, I am a leader, or I am a failure. And you take a card and like a raffle ticket, you break it in half and you keep one half and then you give the other half to the ticket taker. And that has a lot to do with it, because his big grand finale trick is if you want to be identified, stand up and I'll tell you who you are. And then he walks through the crowd and he goes, a thinker. And then the person goes, oh my God, you predicted it. And then sits down. Oh my God. And then Tim Gunn, the guy from Queer Eye for I don't know what is he from Queer Eye for the Straight Guy? He's a fashion dude. He's super flamboyantly gay. He's sitting there standing in front and he goes, and he sees him and there's a lot of cameos in it. And he goes, you are, a hero. And, Tim Gunn starts crying, blubbering all over the place because this guy just told me what I am. Oh my God. These people are it's just fucking schlock. This is all horse shit. And I was like, fucking who falls for this? Clearly the guy has got an earpiece or something like that, or someone's telling him what. Yeah, like he's going to sit there and have it somehow with magic powers. It's a total trick. Everything about this is just some pretty good sleight of hand magic sandwiched in between these big, over-the-top, dramatic moments. This guy with his daddy and mommy issues. Oh, my God. This is absolute bullshit. I will say it's worth a watch, but you're probably not going to like it nearly as much after this review. I hope you don't fall for this shit. It's absolute garbage. My God. That is Derek Delgadio's In and of Itself. Oh, man. Everybody is just losing their minds on it. I mean, it's just like, it's just too much. Really, just too much. Blockbuster trade in the NFL. If you're a fan, my God, Matt Stafford out the door. And this is weird because the Lions actually, something really great happened here. I like Matt Stafford, and so I'm glad that he goes to a different scenario where he can possibly win something. So that's cool. But the Lions fucking made out on this trade. Holy shit! If you're the Rams, you're like, fuck, man. This better work out because we are mortgaging the future. The Lions send Stafford to the Rams, who I understand that the coach of the Rams, he's that young dude. I forget his name. He's like 22 years old. He's not quite that young, but he's super young. He's got a really hot wife. And the rumor is that the quarterback who got traded, Jared Goff, to the Lions, said that he wanted to pork the coach's wife in a group text or something like that. That's the rumor. I don't know if that's true, but that's a rumor. But Goff, he kind of fell out of favor. He was a top pick a few years ago out of California. And he's had some really good years, and he's only 26 years old, he's had some really good years for the Rams. In fact, he led them to the Super Bowl one year, but he's kind of fallen out of favor. And it doesn't look like he was that terrible. I mean, he passed for just under 4,000 yards this past year, and he finished the year played hurt in the playoff game for the Rams. They ended up losing. But what the hell? I don't know why everybody hated Jared Goff. He seemed pretty good to me. It sounds like a rather finicky scenario in Los Angeles. Maybe they're just one of those teams that's really impatient. I don't know. But they think that they can catch fire with Matt Stafford. So he is now in Los Angeles. The Lions get a pretty damn good quarterback who, I don't know if he's necessarily going to lead him to the Super Bowl, but Jared Goff's a good quarterback. And that's not all. The Lions in this year's draft get a third-round pick in the 2021 draft coming up, along with what they already have is their number 7 pick in the first round from that they had earned. And then the following year, 2022 draft, they get a first-rounder for the Rams. And the 2023 draft, they get the first-rounder for the Rams. So, my God, that's huge. That's a big haul for your Lions. I'm stoked about this. And the guy who is the general manager for the Lions, I forget that dude's name too. I always forget their names. I'm like Bill Burr. I don't know who the fuck anybody is. The guy, though, that is the general manager for the Lions, Brad Holmes, is that his name? He's got a kid named BJ. Brad Holmes used to be one of the management team with the Rams. So maybe that has something to do with how the deal got brokered. I don't know. But this is great. I'm happy with this. Matt Stafford, you know what he said? He said, you can trade me anywhere except New England, which, okay, now maybe it's because, New England is also in a rebuilding mode, or maybe it's because they play in the Northeast outside, or maybe it's Matt Patricia, because Matt Patricia, his fat ass is now back in New England. So that is pretty interesting that came out shortly after the trade was made. And the Lions play the Rams next season. I think that's in Los Angeles, so I'm anxious to see how that goes. And you gotta hope and pray, though, that the Rams next season are shitty. You gotta hope that the Rams next year go 0-16, because then the Lions will get a top pick in the NFL draft. But that's not going to happen. The Rams are going to be pretty damn good. They have a great defense, and Matt Stafford's a freaking gamer. I love that guy. I think they just their odds to win the Super Bowl just went through the roof for next year. So here we are, Super Bowl week in Tampa. Tom frickin' Brady announces, I think it was over the weekend, that he is back for next year. So next year at this time, he'll be 44 years old, and we'll be talking about him again. My God. And maybe that'll be it. Who knows? But so you got Brady and the Bucks playing in their home stadium against the Chiefs. And, I think that this is kind of like the type of upset. Well, I don't know. I think the Chiefs are only favored by 3.5 points. That's not that much. I kind of don't think that Tampa has a chance in this, but you never know with Brady, man. My God, this guy is the absolute X factor. I would love to pick the brain of that guy, because he was it's not like this guy was anything special when he played for Michigan. He was picked in the 6th round of the NFL draft. I mean, he was an afterthought. And then when the quarterback of the Patriots went down, Drew Bledsoe at the time, Tom Brady comes in, and the rest is history, man. Incredible story. That is this week. All right. Looking forward to the weekend for the halftime show. I have no idea who the weekend is. I've never even heard one song. Maybe I have, but I wouldn't be able to tell you. Hey, Cameo for Valentine's Day. Don't forget about that, man. I want to surprise somebody for Valentine's Day. If you got somebody close to you, let me say Happy Valentine's Day from your whoever, significant other, and I can do it. I'll do a great job at it on Cameo. I'll make you look so good. Okay, I can promise you that. Cameo.com/Eric Zane, or just download the Cameo app and search Eric Zane, and you are in business. Also, I do cameos for free if you buy anything from JM Synthetics, Amsoil products. I just got booked for one of those from Andrea and Jason. So thank you very much. Okay. Horizon Hydroponics is back for another 6 months of marketing on the Eric Zane Show podcast. Thank you so much to John and Bridget. You guys are awesome. You can buy online at horizonhydroponics.com, HORIZEN, hydroponics.com, for anything at all so that you can grow like a pro indoors. They could use that. Grow like a pro indoors with Horizon Hydroponics, whatever you're growing, okay? Most of you are like, yeah, man, we're growing cannabis, Zane. Come on. But some of you aren't. Some of you are growing things that aren't cannabis. You need the right nutrients. You need the right supplies. HorizonHydroponics.com. Use my code Zane Show at checkout. You'll save 10%. And if your order is over $250, the shipping is free. Or pick it up at the brick and mortar locations, Grand Rapids on Alpine, the Growers Outlet in Byron Center, or Kalamazoo and Lansing. Thank you. I've got a mortgage guy. It's the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage, NMLS number 3035. It's never been a better time to get a mortgage. You can get one for less than 3% if your credit is high. If your credit is not high, that's okay. Mario can get you into a mortgage. Reach out to him at the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. You can get to their website by clicking on the emerald green logo on the sponsor scroll of ericzaneshow.com. Please mention me, and mention me when you call upon all of the sponsors. One more here. Blue Frost IT reminds you that if the company needs a tech upgrade, you may need to call on Blue Frost IT. Sure, you can sit there and have John in accounting try to figure it out on his own, but if your tech is having an end-of-life experience, do this, okay? You know, you've got numerous problems. Routers are a mess. The firewall's a disaster. The monitors stink. The computers themselves are just awful and slow. The printer's a disaster. My gosh, what is going on? You need an upgrade. It starts with a complimentary consultation from Blue Frost IT. They talk to you. They figure out what you need. They say, all right, this is what you're going to need to be in a great working order. That means your employees are going to work smarter and faster, okay? That means you're making more money. Tech has an end of life. Software isn't supported. All of these things can be taken care of with your complimentary consultation with Blue Frost IT. You can drop them an email, info@bluefrostit.com, or just call 616-200-8550. In fact, Blue Frost IT is my managed IT service provider. I have a service contract with them. You pay them a little bit of cash each month, and then I've got them ready to go in case anything happens with my tech. Thank you, Blue Frost IT. All right. As always, if you have any questions, comments, concerns on the show, email eric@ericzaneshow.com. Still waiting to see if the mental health magician is listening live for questions about Derek Delgadio's In and of Itself. He did about 4 magic tricks and told about 90 minutes of boring, stupid, fake, whimsical, emotional stories that made everybody in the room cry, including fucking Bill Gates is sitting there. Oh, God, touch me. Shut up. Oh, what a crock of shit that was. God. You got to see it. It was so touching. I loved it. Oh, my God. I guess I'm just not cut out for that shit. I've got daddy issues. I got mommy issues. God. Fuck. Terrible. All right. People are cutting the line on COVID vaccines. Did you hear about this? Woo-wee. Yeah, including one in particular. Both of these two that are talked about in the story are pretty bad, but one is ultra famous. And Here you go. This is the story about COVID line jumping.
Now to our ongoing series, Vaccinating America, and mounting frustrations with the rollout.
Now, one of the biggest problems right now, getting shots to communities in need. Yet some people are getting those vaccines well ahead of them. NBC's Aaron McLaughlin has more on that part of the story. Aaron, good morning.
Good morning, guys. There's growing frustration and fury as some of the wealthy, famous, connected, or simply crafty find ways to jump the line and get vaccinated. Minority and vulnerable populations are falling behind. Experts say the system's not fair, and policymakers...
They need to have a blacks only day or a poor only day. You know, I mean, hey, wait. Come on in, show us your W-2, and all right, you're not making shit. Come on here, you're a black guy. It's Black History Month. That started today, so blacks only get vaccinated. I want my community to be like, okay, we don't want to be the ones that are being accused of, the minorities can't get in there. But take the fucking vaccine to them. Do what you got to do.
Need to do better. This morning, in the face of nationwide COVID vaccine shortages and long lines, new outrage as some of the rich, famous, and connected get their shots, in some cases brazenly posting it online.
Yeah.
From this popular 52-year-old SoulCycle instructor sharing her jab in a since-deleted Instagram post.
A SoulCycle? What the fuck? I don't know if she's one of these... people that sits there, they're all on exercise bikes, and she's got the fucking microphone, and she's yelling at you to get your ass in gear. She makes tons of cash. Here she is. Yeah, come on, get it.
Reportedly saying she qualified as an educator.
Oh, you're not an educator. You're teaching a stupid what? No, you're not. You're not a teacher with kids. You're with a bunch of people on exercise bikes. That is not an educator. Come on.
To O.J. Simpson, tweeting his vaccination with the caption, "Get your shot, I got mine."
A guy who cut his ex-wife's head off is getting a vaccination? What?
I've had no effects. I've had no ill effects.
Even though the 73-year-old...
How the fuck is O.J. Simpson getting vaccinated?
is eligible in Nevada, his posts striking a nerve. Some hospitals are also facing fresh...
Striking a nerve like I struck her jugular.
...scrutiny for vaccinating donors and board...
Hey, Twitter world!
...members who fail to meet requirements. And then there are those who technically don't qualify, lining up at clinics hoping for a dose that would otherwise go to waste.
I'm not taking a vaccine away from anybody. It's just extra that will be left over.
Medical ethicists say it's a mess, symptomatic of a chaotic and disjointed rollout.
The system was utterly broken. It failed. As soon as people start to think...
That's the thing when they talk about everything is screwed up on the rollout. Well, there comes a point when you can do it right? I mean, if they're struggling, there is a way to actually say, all right, that was all fucked. So from this day forward, we're going to come up with a plan to do this appropriately, right? I mean, you can still do that. That's how you know the old turning over another leaf or turning over a new leaf. That's how you say that. Can't they do that?
I don't have the same chance as someone else or someone sneaking ahead of me. Support for the whole idea of orderly rationing collapses.
Has this been fair?
It hasn't been fair.
Across the country, the elderly and vulnerable struggle for appointments, as data shows Black and Hispanic groups falling far behind. In Florida, where nearly 1.7 million doses have been administered, just under 5% have been given to those identifying as African American, though a larger historic distrust in the medical system may also be at play.
Race and income really determine your access to resources. I mean, that's no different with COVID.
In hard-hit South LA, a predominantly Black and Latino community, Dr. Jerry Abraham is working to turn that around. His clinic allowing walk-ups for those without cars and accept...
Some of these people don't even have a car, so if it's a drive-up, they're screwed. They can't get there.
Abraham is working to turn that around. His clinic allowing walk-ups for those without cars and accepting paper applications for vaccine appointments. His message, think twice before you jump the line.
Remind yourselves that a dose in your arm is a dose not in grandma's arm, and that's not fair or right.
Dr. Abraham also says they need more doses for these vulnerable communities. They're running out every day. Experts are calling for clear policies for when they begin to roll out the next round of vaccines to avoid the same pitfalls.
Yeah,
guys,
it's rough because, someone gets a vaccine and then they're scheduled for the next one and they might not get it. So it's all very strange. Diana's on a waiting list being in the as a teacher. And yeah, it's kind of like just hurry up and wait is what it boils down to. I know that I'm nearly last. I mean, quite seriously, there's 9.5 million people live in Michigan. And I think I'm like 8.8 millionth in line after logging into that website. And you put okay, this is my age. This is what I do for a living. I work at home. Hang on. Sneeze. Okay, it left. Boy, my body is betraying me on the podcast today. I'm coughing. I'm trying to sneeze. My jaw's broken. My God. All right, good luck getting your vaccine. Holy crap. Unbelievable. More on the GameStop investment deal. This is a story about what people who have been able to take advantage. The windfall from GameStop. Check this out.
It's been so much fun talking to some of these individual investors who are taking advantage of this unprecedented moment. Some are using their GameStop profits to alleviate their tight budgets, while some parents are using it to teach their kids the value of investing early.
Behind GameStop's wild ride are scores of everyday investors from all over the country, disrupting Wall Street's chokehold on the markets. Many Reddit users intentionally banding together to bet on the struggling video game retailer, driving up its sagging stock price. The events and the investors parodied over the weekend on Saturday Night Live.
So your price should have gone
down,
but instead it went
up the most.
So now
that show is not funny.
It seems like
The entire system is a joke.
Exactly.
The goal of these armchair investors was not only to make money.
This is an us versus them issue.
But some wanted to teach the Wall Street bigwigs a lesson, especially about shorting stocks, which is when you essentially bet on a company's stock to fail. Senator Elizabeth Warren on CNN calling for a more transparent market and one that's more open to individual investors.
What's happening with GameStop is just a reminder of what's been going on.
Just a rude person you are.
On Wall Street now for years and years and years. It's a rigged game.
Investors on social media showing no signs of holding back, putting up this chiding billboard in Times Square. GME is GameStop's stock symbol, and brr is the sound of money being counted. While GameStop has minted plenty of millionaires, many retail investors are using their more modest profits to pay bills, like college student and grocery shelf stalker Daniel Lanoy, who made $1,100 on GameStop and AMC last week.
That's real money. That's money I could use to, pay off my credit card, that I could, keep in reserve in my savings account to pay for future semesters.
I want to meet the guy who, because eventually the bottom's going to fall out of this. I want to meet the guy who held on for just a little bit too long. Who was like just hoping for it to get back up to that $500 level or whatever. And then, that's going to happen. There's going to be at least one person who was super rich and then it dropped and then it's like, I want it to get back up. And then they don't. It doesn't. And then they're like, oh, shit, that's going to happen to someone.
Investors include 10-year-old Jaden Carr and his mom, Nina, in Texas.
I saw the price and I was just like, there's no way. Like, this can't be real.
She gave him 10 shares of GameStop for Kwanzaa back in 2019. At the time, it was worth about $6 a share.
I know this kid loves video games, and at the time I was teaching him, financial literacy.
She was saying that I basically owned a small portion of the company.
When your mom first showed you how high GameStop had gone, what'd you think?
Why? Why?
Jaden made the call to cash out, making more than $3,000.
What are you going to do with the money that you've made on GameStop?
I've already saved $2,200 of it, and the rest of the $1,000 is going to go to invest in more companies like Microsoft, Roblox.
Wait a minute, did he say he already spent $2,200 of it, or did he say saved? Because if he said, I already spent $2,200 of it, and the rest I'm going to invest in companies, does that mean, well, then that's not financial literacy.
Already saved $2,000.
No, he said saved. Okay, so he didn't spend any of it. Well done.
$200 of it, and the rest of the 1,000 is going to go to invest in more companies like Microsoft, Roblox, and dividend companies.
Invest in more shitty companies. You should invest in like when is a radio company going to get short sold? Because they're all shitty and they're all dying. I mean, I'm not kidding you. It wouldn't surprise me if someone tries to short sell a bunch of radio stations.
Such good news for Jaden there as he saves up that money. And meanwhile, the SEC says it's actively monitoring this GameStop-generated frenzy as Robinhood, the trading app that so many people are using, says it will continue to restrict trading today.
Fucking scam.
Congress also planning to hold a hearing. Meantime, I wanted to know where are Reddit traders headed next? And we're actually seeing a huge sudden swarm on silver. Yes, the precious metal, the price of silver skyrocketing to the highest it's been in 11 years, guys.
Wow. Yeah, there you go. Buy your silver. Oh, my God. What's next? All right, there you go. So happy investing. Happy investing. Holy crap. Hey, if you have a business and you want to be on this podcast, I was just doing some research over the weekend, and I looked at the last month of minutes viewed on Facebook, because I quantify all these numbers and then I present them to business owners and say, hey, this is who's watching. This is how many. And I had 120,000 minutes viewed on Facebook alone. Okay. Of all my live streams between Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, Facebook is the biggest, but I'm getting a growing number of people on Twitter and YouTube as well. I'm not like the biggest, don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying, for what I'm trying to do, and that is put business owners in front of people watching or listening to the podcast, it's working. So thank you for supporting it by paying attention to it, and thank you for engaging the sponsors. So if you have a business and you want me to feature you on this podcast with a marketing plan, don't be a stranger. Eric@ericzaneshow.com. I can put you in an advertising marketing package that's affordable for your budget. I take people who have the tiniest of budgets and put them in a fantastic setup, and then even more elaborate budgets, I can do that too. Eric@ericzaneshow.com if you'd like more information. There's no obligation. It's just me and you talking about what I can do for you. And it's no pressure on this. All my deals are handshake deals, and it seems to work with the dozens of sponsors that I have right now. So thank you very much. Case in point, Rick from TC Paintball in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Rumor on the street is that there's going to be a Jelly Ball get-together with some of the Zaniacs. Jelly Ball is the latest indoor setup he has. I think, what do you call it? A close quarter combat. Close quarter combat. Is that how you say it? I don't know why I can't talk today. So he's got this setup where you're like peeking around the corner. You got this thing. It's called a Jelly Ball gun, and it shoots like soft marbles. And you pull the trigger, and it isn't like single shot. It goes, and these jelly balls go flying out. And you wear your eye protection. And if you get hit, you're okay. There's no paint splatter or anything like that. If you get hit in the face, it stings a little, but no big deal. You're cool. It's like high impact Nerf is what this is. Okay. Jelly Ball is the latest thing, the latest attraction at TC Paintball. $25 for 3 hours of fun. Okay. That's it. Get a group together and go play Jelly Ball. We're going to play Jelly Ball at our next TC Paintball War. And then, of course, you got the Big Daddy with paintball events. Man, my God, TC Paintball online at tcpaintballgr.com. Book a party, team building, get the neighborhood kids together, anything at all. You got any group together, you can do it all at TC Paintball. Birthday parties, bachelor parties, bachelorette parties at TC Paintball in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Get your car serviced at Irvine's. That's where I take our cars in the Eric Zane Show podcast household. You can call them at 616-532-6600. Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid. Online at irvines.com. That's ERVINES. Irvines.com. Servicing all models, all makes and models of European, domestic, and Asian vehicles. The only exception is Volkswagen. Make an appointment, call them up, or just drop it off. You can drop it off after hours too. All the information is on their website, irvines.com. Even if it's as simple as an oil change or something like that, take it to Irvines, okay? Support the sponsors of the show. Thank you in advance. Okay. What's going on here? Something I shouldn't do, but I'm going to. Let's see. Nick says 1,000 on Microsoft. That's actually a pretty good investment. Actually, that's like 4 shares. That's true. Dean, I knew it was going to happen. Somebody was going to say it. Dean refers to Senator Warren as Pocahontas. I knew that was coming. I knew that was coming. Adam says Saturday Night Live hasn't been funny for years now. All right. Most of the people on Facebook. Thanks for being there. Okay. So now imagine this. You're at the gym and you're getting changed in the locker room. You're a lady. This happened at One Life Fitness in Stafford, Virginia. And you're a lady there and you're completely nude. And then all of a sudden, you're like shocked as something has happened and you're now laying on the ground and something that weighs like 150 pounds is laying on top of you. You're completely nude and you're hurt. What the hell just happened? Well, police were called as a man fell through the ceiling into the woman's locker room at this gym and landed on a chick. I mean, actually landed right on her. It's a miracle he didn't like break her neck. Holy shit. She ended up being uninjured. I thought she was hurt, but she was uninjured. And she and a bunch of other nude chicks held the bad guy at bay. In my mind, one of them sat on his face. You know, I mean, I think this is the plot of a porno movie. Guy falls through the ceiling, and then the girls manhandle him and then have their way with the guy, you know, and like make him humble. The deputies from the sheriff's office received a report that this all happened. Dude fell through the ceiling. Several of the patrons cornered him. 41-year-old Brian Anthony Joe. They held him in place until the cops arrived to arrest Brian Anthony Joe. Female was checked for injuries by rescue personnel at the scene, but she was not taken to the hospital. She's fine. The guy fell 10 feet and was not injured. I wish there was surveillance camera, but if there was surveillance camera, that means that there's a camera in the locker room, so that we're not going to see that. We're just going to have to use our imagination. Deputies subsequently processed the scene for evidence. Joe was detained and interviewed by detectives and then arrested, charged with burglary, 3 counts of peeping or spying into a building, and vandalism. It's unclear how long Joe had been in the ceiling or if this was his first time doing it. He's being held without bond at the jail. Authorities said in a statement, this is an active investigation. Yeah, how long was this guy crawling around there? Can you imagine? You're sitting there just minding your own business in the ladies' locker room, and a guy falls through the fucking ceiling. Holy shit! And good on the women for cornering this guy and taking care of him. My God! Thank God. This guy probably wanted to get away. There's drywall all over the place. Maybe one of those drop ceilings. And then all of a sudden, he's got like a vagina mashed on his face. And he's like, oh, God, this is so hot. I can't believe it. Oh, this is great. Oh, no, I'm going to jail. Oh, shit. Holy crap. All right, I want to get to the email of the day. Thank you to, let's see here, Cole, who wrote in. The email of the day is brought to you by Forever Lawn West Michigan, online at foreverlawn.com/WMI. Cole wrote in with an email some time ago with the list for the Zane Asylum, the most recent rendition of it, which made its appearance on Q100 in Northern Michigan. I make the show during the week, and then I send it off to them, and then I publish it on my Patreon for you to get before it even hits the air. But Cole listened online to Q100 at his home in Colorado Springs, Colorado, to actually hear it on the radio. Zane, I stayed up and listened to the Insane Asylum online this weekend. It was awesome. I know it was my list. I knew it was my list, but I loved it. Don't worry, midnight there is 10 p.m. here, so I didn't have to stay up late. I'm not worried. I'm glad you liked the band Headstones. The Headstones cover of The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. Oh, that was awesome, man. My God. They're one of my favorite bands, and you were saying you'd never heard of them, and that gave me an idea for a list. Little background on me. I originally grew up, as you say, in a little shit-kicker town, northeast North Dakota, a little over an hour south of Winnipeg. Growing up, the only rock stations we got were out of Winnipeg, and it wasn't until I went to college in the late 90s that I realized that half the music I liked, no one in the States had ever heard of, because most of it wasn't played on American stations. I don't know if you knew that. What he means by that is in Canada, a certain percentage of the artists must be Canadian artists. You can't operate a radio station unless you do this. And so it's fine. It's good music, but in the U.S., a lot of the bands wouldn't really be played. Anyway, here's another list if you want all Canadian bands. Some you've heard of, most you haven't. Hopefully you like it. Features another song by Headstones. Of course, Tragically Hip, New Orleans is Sinking, great song. That's actually been featured before on the Insane Asylum. Great, great band. I got into that band because of Stu McAllister. Big Sugar, have not heard of them. Big Wreck, have not heard of them. 5440, no. Sloan, no. Biff Naked, I Mother Earth, yes, I've heard of them. Nickelback, of course. Our Lady Peace, yes. The Watchmen, no. The Tea Party, no. Theory of a Dead Man, yes. Didn't know they were Canadian. Wide Mouth Mason, no. Crash Test Dummies, I've heard of them. That's that guy, that weirdo guy with the song. Econoline Crush, no. No, wait a minute, I've heard of them. Finger 11, I've heard of them. Red Light King, heard of them. Matthew Good Band, no. Age of Electric, no. Jet Set Satellite, no. Boot Sauce, no. Default, yes, I've heard of Default. And Moist. A band's called Moist. The band is called Moist, and the song is called Push. Well, there's no way how the fuck? Hey, yeah, what's your band's name? Moist. That's the latest from Moist. That one's called Push. That's a follow-up to their hot hit Anal. That's ridiculous. No wonder why they didn't make it. The band is called Moist. If you ever want to reach out to me, Eric at ericzaneshow.com. Love to hear from you. On the short liners striping inbox. Anything at all that you want to talk about in that. We're going to put the wraps on an Eric Zane Show podcast for Monday, February 1st. Don't forget to renew your Patreon if it lapses, some of you that are monthly, and do consider signing up for the yearly thing. Save you 10%. All right, that's it. Thank you. You guys are the best. I've got a ride into work song. In fact, I think I'm going to feature that Tragically Hip, New Orleans is Sinking, just because I love that song so much. I'll feature that on the ride into work song. Okay, folks, have a good one. Talk to you down the road. Bye-bye.